we're on, baby. We're on. We're on. It's supposed to be recording up here, I think.
Looks like it is. It says it is on mine.
Oh yeah, there you go. And it keeps going percentage up there.
Yeah.
It's a good. You got a good little angle there.
Yeah.
It's good. All right, baby. So let's get it going. This is the first episode, Fight Club podcast. You got me, Rick Trejo. You got my bro, Raul Balderas up in California. I'm in Indiana over here, so we're on opposite sides of the country. It's kind of hard to coordinate, I would say, but we'll do the best we can. So I'm gonna go with the other that second one, the second song for the
Okay.
intro. Remember the one we were
Yeah.
talking
Yeah. Yeah.
about?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think I went and listened to them again. And I was like, that's the one. That's the one. We're gonna go with that one. So I'm gonna put that in there.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so let's UFC 306 Sphere just finished last Saturday, a couple days ago. Um, what do you think? What do you think about the card as a whole? What do you think about the experience?
Yeah. Me and you were texting back and forth during the whole thing. I think it was. I think, like Dana White said, he put a lot of money in the production, but I think it just lacked some fights. Maybe bringing like actual like some headliners just to get it a little more juice for the main event, especially. I feel like
Yep.
the fights leading up to the main card were pretty decent, were pretty good. They were bangers, they were some killer fights, but just the main card kind of just didn't amount to what we thought it would be. I mean, the two main events were just
Oh shit, I lost you.
wrestling and just holding the whole time. I think it was just that's just what drew a lot of people away. And I even saw the press conference after, and I saw Dana White even said it too. He said, I think a lot of people are turning into the watching the UFC right now, and hopefully they didn't watch the last two fights. So I'm like,
Yeah,
in my head, I'm
yeah.
just like, he even noticed that like the last two fights aren't going to bring anybody into the fight because he thought those were
That's
going to
it.
be the bigger fights and more reaction for those fights.
No, I 100% agree. Well, the first three fights on the main card were probably pretty good. I mean, obviously, the Diego Lopez, I could say I almost feel like the Diego Lopez fight could have been the main event fight on this damn night. If it, and it was 5 rounds, it probably would have been pretty cool. I mean, you would have seen Brian get his ass kicked the whole time, but I mean, yeah, he definitely should have put some more people on there. And that, yeah, you're right. He said I saw that this morning. He was like, I hope they didn't see the last two fights because, yeah, that felt flat, bro, flat, flat,
Yeah,
flat.
yeah, yeah.
But
It was just like it was you were on still a high because I mean at least those other fight which was it? It was the which was the first fight? It was the was it Zellhuber
Rodriguez. Oh, no, the first fight
Rodriguez or
was
so,
Rodriguez and what was
yeah,
it?
which
Osborne.
yeah. So that one was like they were fiery, like they had a lot of
Hell yeah.
tension in the build up, and
Mm-hmm.
it actually produced. I mean Rodriguez got out of that those two chokes in the first
Mm-hmm.
round and somehow survived and
Bro. Yeah.
controversial decision on my end, but it was still a good fight. And then
Mm-hmm.
you had Zellhuber. Was it Zellhuber fight was
Zellhuber.
next? And that
Zellhuber
fight was
Ribovic.
crazy too. Yeah,
That's a
Zellhuber
great
was
freaking fight.
he was I literally was laughing watching him because he literally it looked like he was just throwing himself on the cage just to keep himself
Yeah,
awake.
bro.
'Cause
He was like ping pong, bro, just like this all over, like pong.
and
Yeah,
somehow he just didn't get slept and would catch him like with one or two, and then
yeah,
Ribovic would have to step back and just respect the power he was getting, and that was a good
yeah,
fight. And then obviously the Diego Lopez fight was very one-sided. I think once you saw the Ortega kind of bite down on his mouthpiece and just said, you know what, I'm just gonna throw. It got
that
better.
was, yeah,
Yeah,
that was my
yeah,
question. Like in my mind, like I was going for Lopez, but I know how tough freaking Brian Ortega is. Like that he could just take a whooping, but I
yeah,
don't know how tough Lopez is. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because like we haven't seen that. So I was like,
yeah,
shit, if they're gonna just get after it, right? And I mean that first knockdown, I was like, oh my god! But he was trying to prove a point. You know
with
what
the
I mean? To try
submission. Yeah,
submission. Yeah, he was trying to
yeah,
submit him, trying to prove a point. I get it. I get it.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
I think he was just trying to show his he's well rounded, which obviously he's like his jujitsu coach in his camp, so
yeah,
pretty sure
he's the
he's
head
pretty
person.
good. But yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, I thought he just chased it. If he would have just calmed down and stayed on his feet, probably knocks him out in the first round. But he
I
chased
see
that,
that.
and it is what it is.
Just let him up. You know,
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
I think at least the good thing about all the fights except for the main fight where that I feel like when they put the fight together, they put a lot of stand-up fighters. Like, you know what I mean? They put a lot of
Yeah,
fighters that are
yeah,
gonna fight. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be
yeah,
a grappling kind of thing. So maybe
yeah,
that was their idea too. That they're like, well, at least if I, because I mean, I know a lot of people were saying that like he put so much money into this that to put a Conor McGregor on there, I
yeah,
mean, he was going to spend way more money. You know what I mean? So like he had to find, I guess, quality fights or entertaining fights. And I mean, you already know you put Marab on there, it's gonna be a slow one.
yeah.
I mean,
It's gonna be
he's just a
wrestling.
wrestling match, bro. And then
Yeah,
I thought Shevchenko was gonna box more. I thought she was gonna strike more, but
yeah,
she was
yeah.
worried. She was
I,
worried, maybe.
Yeah, I think she just from the first one she and what's crazy is that even in the first fight she's winning she's like it's close but she's winning the
Stupid
striking
back
and the
kick.
kicking. Yeah, that kickboxing background you could see it, man. She's so fast with
Yeah,
her front kicks and her
yeah,
just so much faster. And I think just like the main event, it was just like both of them. They were both hesitant because they knew that they were fighting wrestlers and they
yeah.
didn't have great wrestling. Like even if you train wrestling all the time, like all you have to do is throw a kick or throw a punch wrong in the angle and you're down, just like you saw. It was just control.
Yeah. Yeah, because on that first fight, if Shevchenko doesn't throw that back kick and miss, then Alexa doesn't get that back and she loses.
Yeah,
I mean, you
yeah,
know, she would
yeah,
have still had that, and we wouldn't even be here talking about this. And I remember watching, I was laying down, I was like, "Oh my God, that was such a stupid thing to do." Because, I mean, 9 times out of 10, you're missing that kick.
exactly. It's just like a
You're
Hail
just
Mary,
missing.
like, oh, it's gonna hurt you, but
Yeah, but if
the
you
chances
miss,
of
she's
her
on there
getting caught,
behind you,
yeah,
bro.
exactly,
She's on there
exactly.
behind you. She's on there right
Yeah,
behind you. Well, so let's see. Fight of the night was obviously Ribovic and Zellhuber, which is pretty
yeah,
dope. I mean, they said,
yeah,
I think they asked Dana, and Dana was like, bro, this is one of the best fights I think I've ever seen, which is pretty dope. I mean, it was
yeah,
a good
yeah,
fight.
yeah. I
And
like it.
then who got the Bahamondes and Sousa? I think they got performance of the night. So, I
Yeah,
mean,
those are.
Sousa was a little Andrade. I thought when I saw her, I was like, oh, damn, she's going to be able to punch. She probably hits hard.
I saw her in another fight and I didn't recognize who she was when we were doing our picks. And then when I saw her fight and then she did her interview, I saw her tattoos and I was like, "Oh, it's that." She's like a
It's the same one.
she's good, man. Yeah,
She's pretty
she's good.
badass.
Yeah.
She's pretty good. Yeah, yeah. I mean, there. You know, started off the card. It was kind of weird because I'm used to like a decently stacked prelim
Yeah.
card, or at least early prelim. I mean, early prelims, and you had just one fight, which was kind of I don't know. It was kind of weird. It was just
Yeah,
Raul
yeah, yeah.
Rojas Jr. and that's it. So like, I was expecting the fights on my side to start at like 5 o'clock, early prelims, and then the first fight didn't start till 7:30 my time. I
I
was like,
think there was
dang.
what, how many fights were there? Like nine? 10?
Eight, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the 10th one was Raul Rojas.
Yeah. So usually, I mean, usually they'll have four early prelims and then like five prelims and they have the main
Prelims.
card. Yeah. So
Yeah, so
I
it
did
kind of threw me off.
I felt that. I did feel that. It did feel a little shorter because usually you're right. Here it will start like 3, 2 o'clock, and then it goes all the way
Yeah.
till like 10. Yeah.
And I was watching also the press conference today. I was watching it again, and one of the reporters was like, "Oh, it was like it was obviously it was a sold out event, but they're like, oh, there it was packed from the first fight." And I was like, "No, it wasn't," because I remember seeing the first couple fights, and the whole lower area was just empty because
Yeah.
my wife Gloria was like, "Oh, nobody's there. They couldn't sell tickets." I was like, "Nah, people aren't going to show up to the main card. That's just how it goes." But it's just like it wasn't busy from the beginning, like
No.
from stacked from the beginning.
Yeah. I think that's probably what Dana White thought is like, let me put Raul Rojas first because a lot of people
Hmm.
do like him. A lot of people do like him, and bring it. Maybe he'll bring a crowd. He also said that he was telling all his friends like, "Hey, make sure you're there from the beginning." So maybe they
Yeah,
just got there a little bit after, but I mean, it did look
yeah. I
decently
mean,
packed in after that.
after that, yeah. So, what do
Yeah.
you think about Raul Rojas Jr.? Because I know we were talking before this a little bit, and I said, let's wait, time out. We
Yeah,
gotta see what
yeah,
we got. What do you
yeah.
feel?
I think he's good. I think he just lacks. He has yet for the one time he fights a wrestler, he was literally out wrestled. I think he's
Yeah,
young. I think he's a little more cocky than he might let up. Maybe he's confident. Maybe he thinks it's confidence, but I just think I think the UFC is also protecting him. just like they do every young star. There is somebody they think there's potential in. So
Yep.
I mean, he has yet to really be tested by anybody, but I mean, his
Yeah.
cardio isn't even that good, to be honest with you.
No, and
I'm
I
not impressed.
yeah. And I saw those first fights, those very first fights, and maybe his first fight because he's
Yeah.
had what, two, and this is his
Well,
third. I mean,
he
in the
had an
UFC.
amateur. In the UFC, he
Yeah,
had the Contender Series, and then he had two, and then one of them was a loss, and I think this is his third.
this is his third, right? Yeah. So I
Yeah.
remember I saw his first one, and he just went balls to the wall, bro. Just
Yeah.
like blew his
Tired
wad
himself
in the
out.
first, like, yeah, so fast. But I think I also know that one of the things that turned me off about this guy was the fact that like he was super cocky coming in. And some of that is they were kind of blowing him up a lot, whatnot.
Yeah.
But he
Yeah.
was like, it was almost, I think they said in the broadcast, like, it's almost like he had no respect for the division.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
I'm just going to be the youngest. I'm going to beat John Jones in the early, youngest champion.
Yeah.
And it almost makes you not want him to win.
Yeah. Yeah. No way. I
It's just,
think I think if his skill was as high as his confidence is, then you'd have to respect it. But he's just so
yeah,
like his level is like here and his confidence is like up here. Like it goes
yeah,
goes
he's
back to
raw.
like the it goes back to like the Aljo stuff when Aljo was a champ and Raul Rosa just gets into the UFC and he's like talking about how he gave Aljo the work and training, and then Aljo was like, we people normal fighters don't even talk about what they do in training because it's
Yeah.
like you know what I'm saying? It's like a kind of
Yeah.
like
It's like,
a taboo. It's like taboo to like talk about it. It's like disrespectful.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. It's one of those unwritten rules.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So one of those unwritten rules. Well, what do you think about the little movies, the clips that they had? You know what I mean? The story of the
Yeah. I liked
progression.
them. I thought the production was cool. I honestly from the event, I thought the videos and all the extra stuff, I thought it was really cool. But I
Yeah,
also am on the side of I think it was more meant for people that are there that experience that.
yeah,
You get
hmm
more out of that. Like, Joe Rogan was like, I hope we come back here because he's in the sphere. But to people on the
yeah,
TV, I mean, to me, honestly, it was cool, but it wasn't like if it was if it was in Mexico and they just had it
yeah,
normal and they just had the Mexican atmosphere, I think that would be just as good. Just like he talked
yeah,
about in the press conference, he thinks he's going to take it to Guadalajara next year. So
yeah.
in my
That
head,
that
I'm
would be
like,
dope.
yeah, I think it was, it's like Dana White does. It's like he wanted to be the first sporting event in the sphere, and he spent the money and he made it a show, and a lot of people liked it. But to be honest, he kept saying like, "Oh, people are calling me, telling me that the TV is giving them the same
Yeah,
effect as the people that are here," and I just don't think
yeah.
it did.
Nah,
But but
that one angle from the top looking down. Like I had my son Uriah, right? He was watching it with us for a second. I
yeah,
said, "Hey, watch this fight." It was a Diego Lopes fight, I think. Maybe.
yeah,
No, it wasn't that fight because he would have been asleep. It was an earlier prelim fight. Anyway, he was watching and they showed the top angle and he was like, "Dad, I'm getting dizzy right now." Because it's
yeah,
like it
yeah,
was weird, you know what I mean? Because it's such a
yeah,
big distance from the mat. But I mean,
yeah.
I guess you can only do so much with that. You
With
have to
that.
work within the confines you have.
Yeah, and that's what I thought. I thought it's a sphere, and it almost looked like, like the octagon is here, so it's almost like you split a side of it too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's like you cut it, and then everything is up. I just
yeah,
like you said, the camera angles were a little off to me. Even the walkout a little bit threw me off, just because it would be like it would put the song and then I'm thinking, oh, it's gonna pan to the fighters like they usually do, and it would
yeah,
like wait to get like the outside and then it would go to the fighter. Kind of
yeah.
kind of different. I mean,
That I
I see what
didn't.
he's
Yeah,
trying to
that I
do.
didn't
Yeah,
like.
yeah,
I didn't like. Yeah, how they would show. Yeah, from the outside of the sphere. That part. I rather like it inside. But I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess he's trying to get as much as he can out of the damn situation that
yeah,
he's in.
yeah,
But But I mean, I think it was a cool event. I think it was interesting. And then he was talking about, oh shoot, I was going to use this as one of my three topics. I'm not going to use it right now. But anyways, I'll wait. I'll wait on that one. Um, but how do you think about what about Sean O'Malley? What are your feelings on Sean?
yeah. I think he was expecting. I think he was wanting Marab to shoot faster so that he could guard the takedown and then hopefully make Marab stay standing. But I think Merab's just he's tonight, man. I've never seen him. I think maybe it was his last fight when he fought Jan or
Mm,
there was one fight. I can't put it together, but I remember there was one fight where I'm not kidding you. He like had like 16 takedowns, like 16 attempts.
uh,
Like he would just keep on it. And
keep going.
to me, it was always going to be for Sean O'Malley. It was like you can get lucky, but there was a reason why I picked Merab to win because Merab's kind
Yeah.
of like inevitable. He's inevitable with the takedown. I've never seen somebody be able to just keep going and not stop. His hands
Hmm.
are okay, but you've seen
Yeah.
with everybody that's a good wrestler. If you can take somebody down with ease, they're gonna just be scared of that, and you can catch them with the with punches to the face.
Yeah, I thought it was funny because I saw a meme or a picture or whatever, and it had a picture of Dana White, and it says Dana White's having a horrible 2024 because now Bilal won, and then so did Merab, and they're slower fighters, so it's not super like what I mean,
Yeah,
energetic and all this stuff. But I just thought that was pretty funny when I
yeah.
saw it. I was like, oh yeah, I could see that. But yeah, um, all right. Well, I mean, I don't really want you want to talk about Shevchenko fighting Alexa. Oh, you know what was dope? Did you see Diego? That Diego was the corner for
Yeah,
Alexa?
yeah.
That was
I did see
sick,
that.
bro. I said
Yeah, I like
that's
that.
dope, dude. Yeah, I
Yeah, I
thought that
did
was
see
pretty
that.
cool that he fought went right there. Or you see the Aldana, the Irene's cut on her head?
Yeah, man. I think that headbutt was crazy. I've never seen it that bad. But if a headbutt does that, it should be like a stoppage of some sort, man. Like
Yeah,
I don't even think the ref even like said, how usually sometimes the ref will be like, oh, headbutt, like
accidental.
accidental. Yeah,
Yeah,
but he didn't even stop it. Like he didn't maybe he didn't see it. Maybe he thought they didn't hit head to head. But yeah, man, that ended
yeah,
up being, I feel like that's one of the things where it's like, it's literally going to cost her the fight. Like you might as well just stop
yeah.
it.
Yeah,
But
that's like John Anik when he was like it's a slot machine cut, and I was like, oh, I didn't even really see it, and then I saw it, and I was like, it is, bro. It was like a just a thick old cut,
I mean, you
and
got
you
to think,
can't
dude,
see nothing, man.
yeah, that's going to scar her whole, like, I mean, it was gush. I've never seen
Yeah,
like a face cut just gush. Because it was
yeah,
like not runny, it was just like stain and it was dark red and it was just in her face. That's
yeah,
pretty crazy.
yeah.
That's pretty gnarly.
It was a pretty nuts fight. It was a pretty nuts fight, but
Yeah.
all right. Well, do you want to move on to our three? So for everybody watching, because there's gonna be a million people watching this,
Oh yeah.
uh, we're right. We got
Yeah.
three topics that we're gonna bring up. We don't know what each other's topics are, so he'll go. Raul's gonna go first, and I'll go, and then he'll go, and then I'll go. And we'll keep going, um, and then we're trying to get the raw responses for what just to go off the cuff. And so, why don't you go
You
first,
want,
my guy?
Let me go first?
You go first.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think my first question is, can Lopez fight for the belt next?
bro, that was close to mine. Close to my first one. Close to
Yeah.
my first one. Well, oh, you mean next? So he's gonna have to take some time off and wait for Max and Ilya, huh, to fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would like to see him fight one more.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him fight one more. One of my first thing on here was actually what's next for Lopez. So it's a good thing that we came up with three each. But
Yeah. Yeah.
Lopez Volk,
Yeah. See, I'm like
he's
me.
because Volk's what? Volk's two?
Yeah.
No,
I'm old.
oh, no, Volk's one. Max is two.
Yeah, Max is two, but they're not going to do the rematch
Yeah,
with Volk.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think my thing is if they're looking at Lopez and trying to just like anybody, they see him and they see his potential. I think if they're smart, I think they give him a good fight, which would be Yair.
I was gonna say
Yair
yeah,
still,
yeah. He's right
yeah,
behind him. He's
yeah,
four.
he's ranked up there still. I think Volk is still taking some time, and I think he might even go up to fight lightweight, maybe. So my thing is, if you put Lopez versus Jair, that's a good fight. That's a good standing fight. I mean, they're both no jujitsu. Like it's going to be a good fight. It's entertaining.
Yeah,
And then from there, like you said, in the meantime of the Ilya, that'd be like a number one contender right there to fight Max or Ilya.
yeah, yeah. I could see
That's
that.
what I
I,
like.
I would be super happy with the Ayer and him fighting. That'd be pretty dope. That'd be pretty dope. But I am excited for that Max and Ilya. I mean, I'm excited.
Oh
I'm
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm a Holloway fan, bro. You got me this shirt.
Yeah.
So I'm the zombie killer. Or you gave it to me. I mean, I get it for God from you gave it to me. You gave it to me.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
okay, all right. Well, I'm gonna skip my first one because we kind of were the same thing. But um, all right. So they talked to Dana White, and remember how he was talking? He had said, "Oh, I'm never going to do this again," and all this different stuff. But then he brought up, well, he brought it up once, and then they were bringing it back up is the Fourth of July, doing it on the Fourth of July. I think that could be
Oh,
pretty dope if they did
I
like
saw
a Fourth of
I,
July.
I s- I saw that in the press conference, right? They said like
I
something
think I
like,
lost you. Hold on, let's
you
get
did
it
a
back.
Mexican Independence Day. Why don't you do like a United States like basically the same type thing for like American stuff? I
Yeah,
mean, I think that'd be cool too. Like I
I
wouldn't,
think
yeah,
you could have some fun with it. I mean, it would be entertaining for sure. You
yeah,
can get some really
yeah.
good fights. I mean, there's a lot of American um,
Fighters,
fighters that you
yeah,
can get on there. You put
yeah.
Colby on there, bro.
You have to,
You put
you
Colby. You
have
got to
to.
put Colby on there. Get out of here,
Um,
Sean Strickland. You got
yeah,
to
all of
like
them, all the
you pick all
patriotic
those
dudes.
guys, all those guys that you just want to hate, bro, and they're just
Yeah,
patriotic as heck. That's funny.
I think it was I think it's a little like if you watching those videos in the Sphere, like it kind of made more sense, like how they were talking about like the Mexican independence and how like
Hmm.
it's like the history of it and like why it's such a big deal and Mexican
Yeah,
culture and heritage and stuff. I think that's why you do it, and that's why everybody, like Canelo, that's why all the top boxers like to fight on that day is because it's just like, even like people in England or people in across the world they know like, oh yeah, that's a Mexican
yeah,
fighter, like these guys bring different type of fights and just heart and stuff. So
yeah.
yeah, it'd be cool to do like an Independence Day thing, but like I don't think Dana's for it. I think it's kind of like,
No,
yeah, it's whatever.
you think that's it? Then no more Sphere.
No, yeah, he won't go back to the Sphere. Yeah,
Keep the
he won't go
Sphere.
back.
All right. What do you got?
um i got uh where does sugar go from here, that's what I got.
Let me bring up these rankings, bro. Let's bring up these
Yeah,
rankings, huh? Bring up these
yeah.
rankings. Well, first of all, I mean, well, let me see here. I mean, what he's already he fought Peter Yan, right? Who's he fought already? Yeah, right. Let me see his record here. Fight history. Sterling, Vera, Yan, Munoz. I mean, who's the only other one he hasn't fought on there? Sandehagen, maybe.
Sandhagen, but I feel like that's a bad fight too.
Sandehagen.
I feel like if you look at
Yeah.
the top five in there, they all wrestle to an extent. Jan wrestles, he already beat him. Sandhagen wrestles. Umar, obviously, he's not going to fight him. He's fighting for
He's
the
not gonna fight
title.
one more.
Yeah. Marab obviously beat him. And then who's there? Figueredo is the newest one.
Do you have an incoming call, bro?
No, what?
Oh, it said that you're stop recording because you had an incoming call.
I had my
Sorry.
alarm. You know what it did? I think it reset when my alarm went off. Then it like went back
Oh,
and then it restarted. Does it save the other one?
oh, okay, gotcha.
Saves the other one?
What?
It saves the last
Yeah,
one we
yeah,
did?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Hmm. It just keeps going.
yeah.
I mean, shit. You're looking at yeah. You have obviously Merab and Umar next, probably,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
definitely. Yeah,
Which is gonna be a good fight. Then you got
definitely.
Peter Young, who he fought already. You got Corey Sandhagen, who's he probably won't fight. I mean, Davison. You got Henry Cejudo. Henry and him are gonna they already hate each other. You got
Yeah.
Marlon Vera. We don't want to see that.
Mm-mm.
You have to go all the way to 8 and Song Yadon or Rob Font.
Yeah, man. See, like in my head, I don't see. I think the Cejudo fight would just be for the entertainment purposes, you know. But even that, like Cejudo
Yeah.
can just pull out his wrestling, and you know, it's
Yeah,
almost
or I
like
mean,
maybe he moves up. I don't know. I just don't see any stylistic fights that he is dominant in,
yeah,
you
maybe
know.
this is the time where he's just going for those entertaining fights. You know what I mean? Just those whatever you those squeeze as much as you can out of it. Because yeah, that division is not looking good for him.
Not for him, man. Not.
Not for him.
Look at the lightweight. Look at the lightweight. Or no, the featherweight. My bad. The
Featherweight.
featherweight rank. Yeah.
You still have out. You have obviously Ilya's gonna fight Max. You got Volk, Brian Ortega. Well, now it's gonna be Lopez, but Yair, Arnold Allen, Evlov,
Yeah, Evla.
Josh Emmett, Josh Emmett. I mean, they start getting. You guys get Aljamain Sterling, Calvin Kattar, and Giga. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't know, bro.
it's its own thing. I think he might
Yeah,
maybe he'll try to go box and maybe Dana White lets him box or something. But
yeah. He's
I
got to
think
try and squeeze as much as he can.
I could I could see him maybe doing a fight with Henry, or I could see him like taking some time off and just seeing what's up.
Yeah,
Because unless he wants to get in there with like a bona fide wrestler like Sandhagen, I don't see it happening.
yeah. That's gonna be a tough one, bro. That's gonna be
Yeah.
a tough one. All right. Well, so for my next one, I have, and this is why this one I didn't think you were gonna have this one, but who is your favorite active fighter right now? Active.
Active fighter. It's hard to go against Max because Max is old, reliable. I've watched him since the beginning, and I feel like he's exactly the stylistic kind of fight that I like. But you got to go with Politan, Alex Politan Pereira. You have to.
He's
He's
dope.
just he's dominant, man. The way he dominates, the way he just catches everyone, it's it's pretty crazy. And if he actually goes down and beats Duplessis, I mean, I think he's in the conversation, but even then, if he goes up to heavyweight and tries to fight, I think it just shows his how diverse he is and
Yeah.
how much his striking like affects people, and it's just mind blowing, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. He's dope. I love watching him. I still gotta stay with Max just because I love Max. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I am getting there with Lopez. I really like Lopez. I don't know why.
yeah,
I like Lopez right now because he's like I don't know. But if those two fought at some point, I still have to go with Max because I just have
yeah,
to go with Max.
yeah.
But
Max is a little more precise, a little more. His striking is a little more
yeah,
like crisp, where you can see
yeah,
Lopez is good at his hands, but like we said, he's literally a jujitsu like specialist. So I mean,
yeah.
think
And
about
then
him
if
just
you
having hands. Good.
you always look at like common opponents, and obviously Brian Ortega is a common opponent. And if you look at what Max did to Brian Ortega, I mean, yes, it was 5 rounds, but even at the 3 rounds, I mean,
Yeah, he just touched
he
him
was
up. Yeah,
chopping him up, bro. So much. It was
yeah,
pretty crazy.
yeah,
But so this is the reason why I wanted to do a podcast in the first place, bro. Is because like obviously you and I, we share this that we watch this stuff all the time, but like I stay watching podcasts and like I'm like you do as well. And I'm like sometimes I'm driving, bro, and I'm like, no, that doesn't make any. I'm like arguing with the person on the video by
yeah, yeah,
myself, like in the
yeah,
car looking like a madman, right?
yeah,
And so I thought, you know what? Why don't we do this? Why don't we make just come up with something fun, even if nobody watches it. It's pretty dope to shoot the shit, bro, and just talk it out,
yeah,
see what's up.
yeah.
Um,
I'm thinking the same thing because me and you always like. It's funny because sometimes we won't even talk like just like us like texting back and forth, like seeing how everything's
yeah,
going. But every time a
yeah.
UFC fight's on, we'll be like,
Oh
"Hey,
yeah.
did you see this?
Is it,
Who do you
you ready?
have?"
You ready?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I
Hell
always,
yeah, dude.
I, I'm definitely always gonna remember that time we did we almost sweep it or did we sweep it? What was it like 4 or 5 events ago where we like missed
You
one?
it was UFC 300. The only fight that I lost was Oliveira, and it was Sarukian, and that was a tight fight, bro. And they gave it to Sarukian, obviously, which is fine. But other than that, I picked every single other fight. It was
Yeah.
pretty dope. It was pretty sick. But no,
I think I
and
got
then
I think
well,
I got two wrong and you got one wrong. That was the
yeah,
only.
just that one. But it was dope was well, the hard part I guess is that when I'm watching these, the main card starts at 10. So
Yeah.
I'm up until 2 watching the
Yeah.
fights, which sometimes is tough. But then everyone's asleep, and then that one the Max Holloway Justin Gaethje fight, bro.
Yeah,
It
we were
was like as soon
texting.
as it happened, it was like 1 in the morning. You're like, I was like, we're trying to be all quiet and shit. I was like,
Yeah.
damn, it's a dope fight, dude.
That was
Yeah,
the crazy one, dude,
yeah,
man. That was
yeah,
Yeah, that was exactly what 300 wanted. But that's the thing is like you can't, like he said, I can make the fights, but I can't make sure that these fights are going to be exactly what every
yeah.
fan wants or what every fan gets to see every once in a while when something crazy like that happens. So
Yeah, that was a dope ass card. I would have loved to do this for that fight. And I think
yeah,
after that fight is when I started thinking, oh shoot, like I would love to do a podcast. But then, time went on. And then I remember, I think it was, I'm not sure when I messaged you, maybe like it was July or something. And I was like, bro,
yeah,
I want to do this podcast. But then I
yeah, yeah.
thought, okay, let's wait for a big event like the Sphere. So we have, you know, a big thing
Stuff
to
to talk
talk
about.
about. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, something like that. But then you got some good fights coming up, bro. You got some good
Yeah.
cards coming up. Let's see what you got. You got well, if we're looking at actual UFC pay-per-views, Alex and Roundtree, Alex and Khalil.
You know that Utah UFC, I'm not crazy about it. I'm not crazy about it because you got
Um, uh,
Juliana Pena, Pennington is the
yep,
co.
the co. Yep,
And then what's
Stephen
after that?
Thompson, old Stephen Thompson, and Joaquin Buckley.
Come on, bro. You gotta put respect on the Karate Kid, bro. Always go for I always go for him because he's karate background, bro. Always.
Yeah. Then you got Jose Aldo, and Mario Bautista. That's a ranked 11 person. Jose Aldo is 10.
Jose Aldo. Jose Aldo, you
Yeah,
gotta you gotta,
and
you know, lock it up. You gotta just stop fighting.
lock it up. Let's
Yeah.
wrap it up, huh? Let's do
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
This is the curtain call, bro.
Yep.
All right. Then you have the Kevin Holland fights next, and then you got Aljamain Sterling next, and then Kayla Harrison. I mean, so you have like names,
But yeah, there's
but
nothing
it's
that
not like knock your socks off kind of thing.
what's funny is those cards are the ones where you like, I don't really expect anything. And then we and you are texting, we're like, did you see this? Did you see this? And we're
I'm
like,
like, oh
damn,
shit,
like,
it's dope, right?
yeah.
Hey, you know
So
what I just started getting into, which is crazy, and I should have. I don't know why I wasn't before. Maybe it was because well, I didn't have ESPN Plus, but also
yeah.
because I was usually working on Tuesdays. Is the Contender Series,
Oh yeah, I remember we started talking about that.
which is dope. Remember we started, yeah, but like I think it was two weeks ago is when I started watching it, and
Yeah.
I was like, damn, this shit's dope, man. It's fun.
Yeah. I think it's
It's
cool. I
fun.
think when you get backstories of some people, like the girl who got the biggest upset, and I saw a thing and it was like, Dana White was talking about her and he was like, what the hell? You see that?
No.
Oh, it's not coming up maybe it's coming up on my side. It's saying storage or something. But
Oh yeah, yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
yeah. So I think it was crazy because he was like, oh, we had to like talk her into like coming to fight because she didn't have enough
yeah,
money and that
yeah,
like
yeah,
stuff like that. That's what you like to hear and you like to see like, oh damn, the UFC's pretty crazy and cool like that. So
yeah. And then for that one, I saw almost all the fights except for the first fight, and I was like, "This is dope!" Like I saw them all. But then last week I watched it again, and it was kind of, you know what I
yeah,
mean? I think maybe I just
yeah,
caught it on a real good
yeah,
show,
yeah,
real good show. You got that? You gotta get out of here soon. You have it coming up?
yeah,
No?
man. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
bro.
I'm gonna go throw
All
my
right. Well,
stuff in the laundry and stuff.
oh, okay. Well, you just wrap this up, bro. I think we did good. We just 32 minutes,
That's
so
pretty good.
I'll cut this bad boy up. I got the intro going, and then we'll talk about when we'll do it again. Let's
All
save
right.
whatever we can save, bro. Thanks, man. I appreciate you. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
everybody like, subscribe, share, do all that good
Like,
stuff. Raul's
subscribe,
gonna share on
share.
his. You
Yeah,
already
yeah,
know
yeah.
it, and we're gonna get it popping, bro.
Yep.
All right, bro.
Road to a millie. Road to a millie.
Let's let's go. One person at a time, one
Yeah,
subscriber at a time.
exactly.
All right, bro.
All right, bro. Love
See
you.
you later.
Later.
All right. Love
Later.
you too. Later.
Bye.